Good day, YouTube. Today I'm doing just a bit of a quick fun comparison video between Fedora 36 on the left hand side here and Manjaro 21 on the right hand side. So both the latest releases here basically. Now Fedora 36 is actually the upstream for Red Hat Enterprise Linux, so it's really the latest and greatest for what it has to offer there, and even you'll see that with the kernel that I'll get into in a moment. It is running the default desktop environment, which is Gnome there, and on the right hand side Manjaro. It's actually Arc-based and is also running on the Gnome desktop environment as well, or, you know, as they say, Gnome. But let's see, what we're going to do is open up the start menu and see how this differentiates or is similar. So pretty much the same there, the way that it works. So you can scroll across and have a look at your apps. You've got your little taskbar menu to perhaps pop in some that you would like to keep. So nothing too crazy there, just is what it is. Right click and you'll get your context menus there as well. If we go back into there and have a look at the file managers, we will see that we are running with the Gnome Files Manager or the Gnome Files Manager, but main difference of which is just the coloring scheme, you could say there. And I might just punch up the size of the images a bit, and that's a little bit more similar there for sure. Slightly different iconography as well, I guess you could say. Next up is, like I said, the kernels. So the 5.17 kernel for Fedora 36 and the 5.15 kernel for Manjaro. So a little bit later and greater in terms of kernels for hardware, that sort of thing on the Fedora side of things. As we can see, Gnome is a little bit more bleeding edge for Fedora over the Manjaro offering there. So 41 over 42 basically. And last but not least, maybe we'll take a little bit of a peek at the CPU and RAM utilization. Now, always take these results with a bit of a grain of salt. But on the left-hand side, we are actually both sides we're basically idling out for CPU, which is nice to see. And on the left-hand side for Fedora, we are running at almost 1 GB of RAM on boot up, if you can see that there, 1.02 gigabytes of RAM. Whereas Manjaro, heavily optimized, maybe it's the slightly smaller kernel or slightly, I don't want to say older, but the Gnome desktop environment that's a little bit older there. I just can't think of another word. And we are running at 750 megabytes of RAM on boot up, so that is pretty good. So certainly about 25% less when you look at it from the RAM perspective there. Again, take it all with a grain of salt. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and I do hope to see all of you guys there in the next one.